Welcome to the Pursuit of Prevention podcast. My name is Bailey French, a Purdue-trained nutritional scientist and nutrition counselor, and today you will walk away from this episode with some tools to help improve your health. Because around here, we believe that you are not defined by your family health history. You can enhance your DNA and leave a new legacy of wellness for your family. If you are ready to take control of your health and win back the confidence that comes from knowing that each day you are preventing the illnesses that run in your family, you've come to the right place. Let's get started. Just yesterday, I was talking to a friend and he said, Bailey, I just don't believe that everyone is unique, like they are a fingerprint. Mostly humans are all the same. We're all pretty much the same, and really kind of the same things are going to help everybody. And I said to him, hey, I totally hear that. And that's really interesting because that's not what I believe. Today on the Pursuit of Prevention podcast, that is exactly what we're going to talk about, why you are exactly like a fingerprint, one of a kind. And hopefully what this episode will help you do is really start to understand that the holiday challenges, the detoxes, the cleanse, the workout programs, while they may be a helpful building block, your unique nature is what makes them not the only thing that can produce results. Said another way, you need a customized plan because of your unique design. If you are new around here, welcome to the Pursuit of Prevention podcast. My name is Bailey French. I am a nutritional counselor and nutrition scientist, and I help you, people that have a family history of chronic illness, or even just someone who might have some symptoms themselves that you really want to prevent a chronic illness from occurring. If that sounds like you are in the right spot. Now, what we're talking about today, your unique fingerprint, if you will, for your health journey, your health plan. Let's start with a quick little story. So I am a coach for a program called Guide Culture. It is a sales skills training program, and their message, their values of really just helping people show up better to serve the people that they're doing life with really aligns with me, and I love the company, the people. It has helped me so much, and so now I get to be a coach for their program. And something that I have been noticing a lot lately with our Guide Culture Academy students is that around the holidays, everyone tends to get a little bit more quiet, a little bit toned down, because the holidays can either ramp up sales or they can decrease sales because people are thinking about spending money on other things. And they also know that the holidays are just a little bit more expensive. So sometimes people are more mindful of their budget around the holidays. And what it is seeming to do is trick people, salespeople specifically, or people that have a product or service to sell, is it's tricking them into believing that the quieter, the more agreeable that they are, the more sales that they'll make, / the less that they will turn people off or turn people away from wanting to work with or shop with them. And I totally get it, right? It makes a lot of sense. If more people agree with you, you are still a good fit for more people. Have you ever heard the saying that if you are talking to everyone, you are speaking to no one? If you're talking to everyone, you're speaking to no one. So what does that look like when we start to dial it down and get a little bit more agreeable? You start to put out this message that a lot of people agree with, but it does not convict them to buy what you have. It doesn't convict them to make a decision. And so this conviction, this knowledge that what you have, and it doesn't matter if you have something to sell, it doesn't matter if you are a corporate person and you go to work 9 to 5, it doesn't matter if you are a parent trying to get your toddler to go to bed every night. Okay, this rule applies to everyone. When you are so convicted about something, you believe in your soul that it can change one person's life, it's worth it. You have some type of information. Maybe it's a parenting tip. Maybe it is a routine or a habit that helps you stay on track. Maybe it's a budget spreadsheet that you use. This truly is universal, but when it comes to your health, all of this to say that lately I have been incredibly convicted about the fact that taking care of your health is the only non-negotiable thing. If nothing else, you need to be spending money on your health, on improving your well-being during the holidays for 3 reasons: your mental health, your physical health, and your spiritual health. Those are the 3 pillars that I actually started my business with. If you look in the fine print under the Be Well logo, it says food, fitness, faith. Your physical, nourished, well-being body, your mental state, and your spiritual state. These are the 3 things that when it comes down to it, if you look back at a really dark time in your life, were all 3 of those things at their prime? Probably not, right? And so that is my conviction lately, that you are so valuable, you are so worthy, and you are so unique that all of the holiday challenges, the cleanses, the detoxes make me a little bit angry. And I'm not going to lie to you and say that I have never capitalized on the word challenge or detox. And then once you get inside of the challenge or the detox webinar specifically is the one I did, detox was just an acronym, right, for these simple habits. The challenge was really just putting simple habits, drinking enough water, eating enough calories for your metabolic rate. Those were the steps. It wasn't some crazy, cut out carbs or anything restrictive. It really was just utilizing the word. So what I will say with that is that you have to trust the person too, right? It's not always going to be a challenge or a detox or a protocol that is something drastic, something on an extreme end of the spectrum. It could be really someone just really trying to play on the word, because be honest with me, send me a text and let me know. Do you do things sometimes just because it's a challenge and you want a quick fix? That's not a bad thing. But here's where we're making our full circle today. We're tying the bow up here, okay? You have a unique genetic fingerprint. There is no one else in the world that is exactly like you. That brings tears to my eyes. It gets me emotional every time I say it out loud. How incredible that you are the only singular one of you on this planet. It's honestly kind of a little bit ridiculous. And when we look at it in terms of health, that conversation that I started with, that I had with my friend yesterday, both can be true at the same time. So I don't entirely disagree with him. There are so many things, so many tools that are really helpful for every person. There are also things that do not work for every single person, and there are things that are quite honestly harmful for some people. A great example being the ketogenic diet. For some people, it is a good option. When it is medically warranted, it is the first go-to. For a lot of people, it's going to damage your metabolism. It's going to create an unhealthy relationship with food, and it's going to be so restrictive that your mental health will suffer because it becomes more difficult to eat out and enjoy your time with friends. It becomes a task, a hassle to go out and have happy hour after work with your coworkers. So, and let's just circle back here real quick because we're on the topic. The health benefits that come with a ketogenic diet are not, they do not outweigh the negatives. And truthfully, in the long run, the risk that the ketogenic diet puts you at for heart disease, heart attack, stroke, high blood pressure, plaques, and blockages, that is not worth losing 30 pounds in a month. I mean, it's really just not. And the reason that I say that is because there's another way to lose 30 pounds in a month. There's another way to increase your energy without entirely cutting out sugar. So there are so many different directions that we could go today, but let's really focus on how and why you are unique to help you step into the mindset that a unique approach, a customized plan for your nutrition, for your fitness, for your recovery is not only warranted, but it's almost necessary if you want to experience results in the long run. Okay? So let's think about it. How does it work? You have your mom and you have your dad. That's where you came from. The means, the methods of that is different for everyone. That is the first stop on the train track of what makes you so uniquely different. Maybe you were adopted. Maybe your mom was an egg donor and your dad was the dad that you have. Maybe it was reversed. Your mom was your egg and then your dad was a sperm donor. And then maybe you grew up with a different dad. That layer is physical. It is genetic because those are your parents. That's where your genes come from. 50-50 split, right? Their DNA makes your DNA. But that socio, whatever we want to call it, aspect of your creation is incredibly important. Here's a great example. There's a family and they adopted 2 children. They were babies. They were really just about a year apart and they had separate parents. So they went and picked both of these children up from an orphanage and adopted them, but they were 2 separate families that created these 2 separate kids. They grew up in the same household. The household was loving. The mom and dad adopted these kids because they couldn't have any, but they wanted children and they loved them so deeply. They grew up with a really pretty good life. Parents made pretty good money. The kids went to a pretty good school. They did all the extracurricular activities. Overall, they had a pretty great childhood. Those children grew up, one to be addicted to food, one to be addicted to drugs. Looking back, the parents question. They're like, what happened? What did we do wrong? And the reality of it is, the answer is quite likely nothing. There is, from the very day you are born, neural connections that start to be formed. And when you have a different experience from being created to being born to growing up, that experience creates connections in your brain that can lead to things like addiction. Now, here's another piece to the puzzle. Maybe both of their families had addiction in their genes because addiction is a genetic trait. All of that is really just to say it's not just your DNA. You know, the X chromosome coming from your mom and the Y chromosome coming from your dad and those forming together to make you. It's not just about that. There are so many different things. Your experiences, where you grew up, location, geographically makes a difference. The air and the water that you are exposed to makes a difference in your adult healthy body. So that is truly just the foundational reason for why I believe so strongly that you are a unique fingerprint. And then, of course, the other part is that your genetic makeup, you know, do you remember the 2 strands of swirling things that you think of as DNA? That DNA is within every single cell in your body, and it is different than mine. Mine is different than my mom's. And here's the really cool thing. My mom and I, spitting image. I look just like her, which is a really good thing. She's beautiful. And what's really cool is that we both had the opportunity to get our genes tested. Not for a great reason. Hers was because she had stage 4 cancer. Mine was because I was scared of getting stage 4 cancer. So poor circumstances led to a really cool outcome, because what we found is that even though I look so much like her, I have different genes than she does, because her mom and dad were not my mom and dad. And she has different genes than her brothers and sisters do, because that combination of genes, that combination of genetic makeup is different between each and every single person. So the good news, just to let you know, the genetic mutation that my mom has that contributed to her developing stage 4 cancer, I don't have that. So that is a really great thing. And it's also just so interesting and fascinating to see. I don't have any evidence. I don't have a before and after to say I used to have this genetic mutation and it was healed through food, or I used to have something else and I don't anymore, or I didn't have something else that I do have now. All I know is what's in front of me. And what I know is that genes can change. Singular specific genes, a great example is a tumor suppressor gene, which we've talked about a little bit before on the show. A tumor suppressor gene can be flipped on and off like a light switch based on the amount of stress that you're under, the types of food that you're eating, the quantity of food that you're eating, your hydration levels, your exercise type. All of these things play a role in turning genes on and off. So what's even more mind-blowing about this concept that you are so unique is that you're not the same from start to finish in the book of your life. Obviously, you grow, you learn things, you become a new person mentally, but you also become a new person physically, literally from the inside out. Your genes can change at any given time, and that, my friend, is exactly why it's so important and truly that non-negotiable for you to always be focused on your health. Because let's just say, just for November, December, January, you stop focusing on your health. There are other things to focus on. It's a stressful time, it's a busy time, maybe you're starting a new job in the new year. There's just a lot going on. And you say, it's just 3 months, it'll be fine. I'll get back to it when I get back to it. Do you know how easy it is to let those 3 months slip into 6 months, slip into a year, and then next year, you think back, what if I had just invested the time, invested the money in focusing on my health then, learned all the tools to keep my body well? I would be in a completely different spot. That is not the picture that you want to see. I know it's not. You want to look back a year from today, look in the mirror, and think about just how far you've come. Your shoulders have tightened up, which means they are put back. Your posture looks confident and tall. Your legs are just a little bit leaner. But the biggest benefit is that when you walk downstairs after looking in your mirror, your knees feel better. You feel lighter on your feet, and you go to grab your meal prep lunch out of the fridge, and you get in the car with minutes to spare because you're not flustered around your room trying to look for something that fits. That is what you can have if you start today. If you start right now and say, I am not letting one more week go by with just good enough. I'm taking control of my health, and I'm going to really lean into a customized, tailored plan. Can I just tell you that I have never once suggested or recommended the exact same thing, the exact same foods, the exact same meal plan to clients. It is one person that has unique genes, unique sensitivities, unique root causes going on that need to be addressed. And so they get their one singular suggestion, their one singular meal plan, their one singular coaching path. It matters It matters so much. And while yes, cryotherapy is beneficial to a whole host of people because of the circulation benefits, red light therapy can be so beneficial to a whole host of people because of the anti-inflammatory benefits. That one doesn't mean that it is safe and effective for every single person. And it doesn't mean that one single meal plan, one single way of eating is going to work and be effective for every single person on earth. So while we do have many commonalities and similarities between human bodies, that's what makes us a species, truly one big family of humans. We have so much in common, but you also have so much uniqueness to you that is not being fully honored and valued if you continue to go down the path of challenges and restrictive diets that are meant as a one-size-fits-all solution. So, a little bit of a hot take today on the podcast. We're going to jump back into some interviews here in the next several episodes because there's some really fun and exciting stuff for you guys to learn about, kind of as it relates to food and nutrition, but a little bit real world application as well. So I hope that this episode was helpful. If you are feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you've done every single diet out there, nothing has worked, and you're ready to actually experience some change, reach out, let me know. All of my contact information is in the show notes of this episode. And I'd be honored to really just sit down with you and talk for 15 minutes and see if we're a good fit. And if we're not a good fit, I can almost guarantee that I have a great recommendation of a colleague who would be the next right step for you. It's really just about finishing out this year, knowing, valuing, and accepting that your unique body is worthy of whatever it takes to get to your healthiest place. You deserve to feel good. Every single person in the world could listen to this episode, and that would be the same. That would be true. Another great example. This is a good message for every single person in the world. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to wake up with energy every morning. You deserve to not be in pain. And that is a real possibility when you take a step back with a professional and start to look at your genetic makeup and what makes you so uniquely you. So I will get off of my soapbox now and see you guys back in just a couple of weeks. This show is bi-weekly, so stick around for some really fun interviews. If you have a topic that you want me to touch on, a diet, a specific food even, reach out and let us know. We would love to hear it in a review on Apple Podcasts. Spotify also has reviews now for podcasts, as well as in an email or a text. We love to hear from you guys, so keep those coming in. I love you so much. I mean that from the very bottom of my heart. Go out there, be convicted about the things that matter, and do not take one single second for granted within your body that can become better. I will see you guys soon. Thank you for being a part of this conversation today. By sharing with just one friend, you are not only showing the people that you love that you care about them, but you are helping this message that healthy does not have to be so hard reach hundreds of other people. Be sure to check out the show notes and visit www.bewellhwc.com for more information and to subscribe to the show so that you get notified every time there is a new episode available for you to learn more health tips and help you achieve your healthiest self. I cannot wait to sit down and chat with you again so soon. Until then, stay well.